Hi there, this is Warwithin. I'll show you the abilities of the new Warframe, Koumei, and the build that can be fought with the melee weapon, Amanata. If you can recreate it, you can fight for 1 hour on the Steel Pass, where the enemy level exceeds 100. If you already know the abilities, please skip to the build introduction. Before introducing the build, let's first look at Koumei's passive abilities. This ability adds a random status effect to one of your primary, secondary, or melee weapons. You can tell which weapon gets that effect by looking at the white icon in the lower right corner of the screen. When the gauge runs out, the effect will be moved to another weapon. Note that this effect will be applied to any of the 3 types of weapons, even if the number of weapons you equip is reduced. It is not possible to equip only melee weapons and enhance only melee weapons. This is a passive ability that is a little useful if you use a weapon corresponding to the icon, and so on. Next is the first ability. It ejects Koumei, inflicting damage and status effects on the enemy. The damage and number of status effects are defined by the roll of dice in the lower right corner of the screen. If 6 are rolled 3 or more times, all kinds of status effects will be applied, and the damage can be quite high. Next is the second ability. When activated, a challenge will appear. If you complete the challenge, you will receive a decree. The decree lasts until the mission is completed. Even if Koumei is defeated or falls, the decree will remain. Once the decree is earned, a cooltime has passed, and if energy is enough, the ability can be reactivated. If the challenge is too difficult, you can cancel it by holding down the second ability button. In this case too, after the cooltime has expired, you can reactivate it if you have enough energy. You can check the decree you have earned so far by opening the menu and looking at the icon on the right side. If you complete a challenge with this ability, you can enhance yourself almost infinitely in theory. It is quite powerful, but it is not easy to complete the challenge. Besides, each time you get a decree, the cooltime gets longer. If you are unlucky, if your weapons are not fully trained, or the enemy is too strong, it may be difficult to make use of this ability. Here is a third ability. When activated, it deploys the Omamori and blocks damage. If Omamori blocks damage, it regenerates health. The chance of blocking damage is always 50%, and how much health is restored depends on the strength of the ability. The number of Omamori is determined by the roll of the dice in the lower right corner. If you get 3 6s, you will be invincible when it blocks damage. If the number of Omamori falls below 5, you can reactivate it. Next is a fourth ability. When activated, it binds the enemy and inflicts a status effect on the enemy. The number of status effects depends on the roll of the dice. If the dice rolls 3 6s, the effect is more likely to spread. Let's now look at what you need to do to get all the mods introduced in this video. For a start, let's try to complete these 6 goals. Complete open world bounty missions. Collect the corrupted mod. Complete the Warframe quest, the Silver Grove. Mass produce and use Twilight Upseek. Begin to use the Helminth system. Complete the main quest to Warwithin. Once you complete these 6 goals, you can get the essential mods you need. To start an open world, please watch this video. The way to collect the corrupted mod is quite special, so we have put together a video about it as well. The Warframe quests, the Silver Grove, and Twilight Upseek require a scan of these plants. If you don't know how to do scanning, please watch this video. Creating the Helminth system requires fishing and animal conservation and mining. For more details, please check this video. Also, the main quest, Warwithin, is quite challenging. If you get stuck, watch this video for tips on how to get through it. Once you have completed the 6 goals I have mentioned, you will have all the mods and abilities you need. As you have more time, Aim for these 5 additional goals. Advance the main quest to Whispers in the Wall. Complete the Warframe quest, Duberry Paradox. Complete the side quest, Veil Breaker, and complete the weekly missions. Complete the arbitration mission. Collect the Arcon Shards. Once you have completed these goals, you can fully recreate the build that I am going to introduce in this video. Now, let's see exactly how to insert the mods. Let's start with Koumei's build. First, be sure to install the bonus ability on the second ability using the Helminth system. You can craft Borna with Conjunction Survival in Lure. After activating this ability, you will get a health orb drop when you kill an enemy with melee weapons. This ability is automatically renewed when you kill an enemy with 5 types of status effects. Therefore, if you activate Koumei's ability and kill enemy with melee weapons, health orbs will always be generated. Next, let's install the mods. There are 3 essential mods: Equilibrium, Brief Respite, and Catalyzing Seals. First, install the Brief Respite, which you can get by using the Twilight Upstick to restore shields after activating abilities. Then, reduce the capacity of the shield with Catalyzing Seals, a crafted mod. Then, add Equilibrium, which can be obtained from the circuit or Deimos boss, so that you can recover energy with health orbs. It'll be easier to get energy with the health orbs with the abilities we just implanted. Other mods such as Transient Fortitude, a crafted mod, should be targeted when you can afford it. Adaptation and Rolling Guard are available from arbitration missions, and Primed Footed is available as a login bonus. These 3 Arcon mods should be exchanged for weekly missions after completing Veil Breaker. For Arcane, I recommend Mode Augmented, which you can get in Zariman. Another Arcane can be obtained from Arcane Dissolution. Continue with the Arcon Shards. It will work without it, but it is a good idea to include 2 yellow shards. One should be an ability that increases the amount of energy at the start of a mission. The other should be the one that increases the casting speed of the ability. For the other 3 slots, I suggest a red shard that increases the strength of the abilities. It will increase the firepower of the abilities and the effect of each Omamori. Next is the secondary weapon build. The essentials here are the Ogre Pact and the Arcane Secondary Dexterity. As long as you have these 2, anything is okay. Let's continue with the build of the primary weapon, Rauta. When you attack an enemy with Rauta, your melee weapon combos will quickly stack up. If you add Arcane Primary Dexterity and increase the firing rate, you're good to go. You can get Rauta the same way as Kullervo. Please see the video on how to get Kullervo for more information. Next is a build of the melee weapon, Amanata. I used the Amanata this time because of its synergy with Koumei. When Koumei uses this weapon for melee attacks, it gives a random buff to Koumei. Therefore, this weapon will be perfect for Koumei. This buff is triggered every 30 attacks on the enemy with Amanata. You can see how many more times it will be activated by looking at the upper right display. Now, let's add the mods. First, put in the stance mod, which you can get from the Seeker to use easily in the stance slot. Add the elemental mods, which you can get from Spy or Void Survival missions in order of Toxin, Flame, and Electricity to add the gas and electricity elements to the Amanata. Next, include Condition Overload and Weeping Wounds, which you can get from Infested in the bounty mission of Deimos Cambion Drift. These mods will increase the damage by the number of status effects and also increases the chance of status effects. Of course, you should also include Amanata Pressure, a mod specifically for Amanata. Once the combo has reached 8 times, Amanata Pressure will add a random status effect to the heavy attack. Normally, to store up combos, you need to keep attacking the enemy with melee weapons. However, thanks to the trait of the primary weapon, the router, you can store up combos in no time at all. For the extra slot, you should add the Tennokai mod, which you can get from the alchemy of the laboratory to easily activate the heavy attack. Attack the enemy with the weapon, and when the mark appears, launch the heavy melee attack. This way, you can launch heavy melee attacks without spaining combos. Finally, add the galvanized elementalist, which you can get from the arbitration mission, and a mod that increases damage to specific forces. This will increase the damage of the gas and electricity status effects. Arcane should be equipped with melee influence to make it easier for them to spread the status effects. Next up is the Sly Vulphayla build. I choose them because they made it harder for Warframe to be defeated by the special mods. Tech and synths are available from the bounty mission in the Venus of Balis. Fetch is also available from the hyenas in Venus of Balis. Next, the white mod Prime Pack Leader can be obtained from Valkyria. Companions will be less likely to be defeated. Next, add Royal Retriever to increase the amount of resources. This can be obtained from Tesla. If you have done a lot of animal conservation in Deimos, you can get the higher version from Sun's tag tray. Other bond mods can be obtained from animal conservation NPCs in the open world. Finally, let's look at the build of Sly Vulphayla's melee weapon, Sly Claws. Stance mod and causerie can be obtained from Tesla in exchange for tags. Bell Ringer can be obtained from Sun in exchange for tags. Venom Teeth, Shock Cooler, Frost Jaw, and Flame Gland can be obtained from the Hyena in Venus of Balis. Swipe can be obtained from Hayeka in Sedna. Maul should be obtained from Drak. This will give it the corrosive and blast elements. Sly Claws originally comes with magnetic and impact elements, so you can produce a total of 4 different types of elemental attacks. It is easy to forget, but also gets the operator's abilities. For this build, use Naramo. Energy is generally not a problem thanks to the ability of Warna and Koumei, so you don't need to use Zenric. Now, let's get to the actual fight. As usual, let's try this out on a void survival mission on the Steel Pass. First, activate Omamori with a third ability to reinforce the defense. Then, activate the second ability, which replaces Volna's ability. When the enemy appears, use the first ability to inflict status effects on the enemy. Charge at the enemy affected by the ability while holding down the melee blow. Once the enemy is defeated by the melee attack, Volna's ability will generate a health orb. Then, thanks to the equilibrium, you should have no trouble getting energy. If your shields are damaged, you can recover them by activating your abilities. You will always restore your shields because you will have no energy problems. When you can afford it, attack the enemy with a shotgun, router, and store up combos. When the combo is stored and the mark appears during a melee attack, do a heavy melee attack. At this time, thanks to Amanata's special mod, you can inflict status effects on the enemy. Since you can easily inflict status effects on your enemies, Volna's ability will last longer. Now, you can fight through 1 hour of void survival mission on the Steel Pass. This is an overview of Koumei's abilities and build. Thank you so much for watching. I think the build was successful in utilizing the characteristics of Amanata and Koumei. If you want more, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.